Welcome everyone back to another Rollcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is episode 108 of Hunter x Hunter. A lot of good stuff happened last time. A lot of friends, a lot of enemies, a lot of frightening encounters looking at air. And we'll see what happens this time. This is a really good episode for me. One of my favorites. Hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe. Let's go. Check out Patreon to get roughly this many episodes ahead on screen at this moment. Around 20? I don't know. Something like that. Check it out. Let's go.
選別の開始まであと3日。宮殿内では傷の治療を終えた王が今も休まずに軍議を続けていた。
3 days, it said? Or
3 days until the selection.
oh, they've been playing for like 24 hours or something, or however long they said.
Well, they must have been playing for a long time, because she said that she could play for like 3 days and 3 nights without sleeping or
That's what I was asking. Like it was 3 days until the selection, but they said like they've been playing. Did they say how long they've been playing? No. Yeah, because he said we'll get rest now, because when you wake up we won't be stopping. But I wonder if he'll accept the victory if he just wears her down physically.
Yeah.
You just try your hand. Gungi X of X KOMUGI.
休憩だ。半日後に再開する。フラフラの貴様に勝っても。
After he made a big deal of like, you won't get to rest again. And then
he thought he would be able to beat her sooner.
Well, he also was ready to pull tricks and then he decided against it.
この女危険だ。このままだと厄介な存在になる。
だわ、お先に失礼します。
早まってはいけない。王が自らの言葉を翻したのを貫くため、万全の状態の軍議王をねじ伏せ、自身の実力を証明するため、私が今この娘を始末してしまった。軍議において王は
Not that, you know, he'll probably kill you and
Yeah, exactly. He cares more about the king's success in this game.
just like
He just had a whole mental breakdown in like the span of a minute. Divide and conquer.
oh my god. Ikalgo's like, first?
Dangerous formation.
They're protecting the bridge builder.
Yeah, Manji formation. Protect the bridge builder. All just discussing all the strategy. Every angle that they can get.
You can't really count on her.
なんとかわからないかな。
死んでるか潜んでるかのどっちかだよ。抜け出したら連絡がある。ないのはそういうことだろ。奴らに見つかったら自ら死を選べ。あいつはその覚悟で敵地に。
こちらからパームの様子を探ろうとするのは彼女の覚悟を侮辱する行為だぞ。本はただパームが心配なだけでだな。
その心配が低レベルだってんだよ。
だぞ。
仮にパームが生きたまま敵だとする。その場合、十中八敵にバレてる。
突入する俺たちは飛んで火にいる夏の虫ってと
滅さ
We have no idea what actually happened to her or not.
Yeah.
大事なのはパームを信じることだろ。
一理あるが、もしもパームがそういう状況だったら、こうも今なら可能だとゴンは言いたかったんじゃないか。
甘いよ。
Nick's just lifting fingers.
でどうやるかの方法
You know him so well.
Pigs fly.
それはかる
心配なのはわかるけど作戦が始まったら終了まですっぱり忘れろ。
コンマ数秒のロスで作戦が失敗することだってあり得るもんな。
It's funny because Gon is usually either laser focused or completely distracted. He's usually the first to get distracted or will never get distracted.
Yeah.
Like when they fought the Chimera Ants with Kite, he was the one who was knocked kind of
Yeah.
loose, but
Oh no.
ここで右辺に活路を求めたらどうだ。
それよりこの牙です攻守両天秤で
now he's actually getting coached.
私は嫌でした出ずに前に出るのも時と場合ですすべてそれでは愛が生ずませんよ
受けは性に合わんな。
They're actually talking.
I know.
How
They're just hanging out.
crazy is
王
that?
様、
なんだ。
And he's like,
内密の話ですので、ここでは。
構わぬ。申せ。
その後の統一までのスケジュールをできる限り早めたいのです。
the
Post
post
selection schedule.
好きにせ。
は、つきましては、出発も選別終了直後とし、
二度言わすな。お前に任せると言っておるのだ。
He's delegating
もう世が
the
世の
actual
中下がって
responsibilities.
He just wants to. He's just gotten addicted to this game. Doesn't want to do anything
とう
else.
とうお前まで追い出されたまあ王が勝つまでの辛抱だあと数曲ってどこだろう
I'm not so sure anymore.
王は確かに凄まじい速さで上達している。しかし彼女も進化している。すでに私が予想できるレベル。
She's not. She hasn't peaked. She's still able to adapt and learn and try new things.
だといいが。
And the king's the kind of person to master this shit. He's mastered every other, like chess and all these other games. So he's like grandmaster in like every other game. He's learning faster than a human possibly could. So the fact that she's still beating him
Yeah.
just means she's unbelievable. Oh, the one who defeated Leo.
報告で隠した兵士は奴の煙人形
So they've deduced his power. That's not good.
僕の人形よりも数は少ないけれど精度はかなり
Her puppets are only good because they have guns.
上でもここから落ちないにゃ
Oh, sure you can. Go on.
Go on.
そろそろペイジンに潜入するぞオラウの旦那のかく乱作戦に敵が俺たちがペイジンで動くでも単独犯
This music always just gets me so like, oh my god.
周辺に国民が大移動を開始する手で気配を消せば複数の敵が国民に紛れ込んで王を狙うと護衛軍は考える宮殿の外周辺の国民に向けられるそこへ宮殿内の様子が王は間違いなく灌漑の玉座の間で選別の様子を見守る
本当にそうだろうか。引っかかる。何か。
Something feels off.
Mm-mm.
They're missing some key information about what's going on in the palace.
Yeah.
One day. One day away, ladies and gentlemen.
二一さん、
433弓
全く間を置かず、急所急所を攻めてるとさは増すばかりだ。
Well, she's never had anyone like be as good as her before, so him getting better is just helping her to get better.
息苦しくはない。むしろ楽しくすらある。そういう局面に手が導かれているからだ。俺はこやつが
It's like cathartic. It like lifts the weight off his shoulders.
ている証。一体どこまで強くなる。
総帥様私変です と洪水みたいな頭になだれ込んできて、もっともっと強くなれる。
覚醒これからだったのだ。強くなるの。
She has only begun. She's developing Nen from
playing the
playing.
game. She's like the guy who is like making things and infusing them with
Yeah.
Nen.
少しいただけませんか？
自分から言い出すのは初めてだな。どうかしたのか。
部屋で書き留めておきたいんです。浮かんでくる手を全部。
その目でこ
書くと言ってもコマを並べるだけです。コマに触れて盤上に記名を並べると絶対に忘れないんです。
Damn.
これまでの寄付をすべて
No wonder she's so good.
休む。
This is so cool.
And he's just excusing her?
名前。おい。名は。
He never even asked her name.
私のですか？
他に誰が。
Wouldn't know. I
I
can't
don't
see.
小麦です。
小麦か。
総帥様は今のお名前は何とおっしゃられるのですか？
世の名は。世は。なんという。
He has no idea what his name is. He never heard his mother's in her last words when she was saying it to Morel and all those guys.
夫婦。は。ユーピ
Oh, he's gonna ask them if they can remember what his name is.
He's having a complete existential breakdown.
そう。お前はプフだ。世の名前は何という。
王は王です。それ以外の何者でもなく、唯一無二の存在。さまざまなまがい者がその名を無断で使っていますが、抹殺いたします。王といえば、
I identify as the king.
たった一人の存在を思い浮かべるよう。
前提であろうが、王は称号。
It's not a
称号は
name.
所詮冠で、名前ではない。どうだ。
私には荷が勝ちすぎる問題。到底
What if they just made up a name? Your name's Steve.
王ご自身が最もふさわしいと思われる名を付けられるのがよろしいかと。
まあ良いわ。
お名前は選別の後でも遅くはありません。王、何か気がかりが終わりならば、私めらに。
小麦の全身が光に包まれている。
KOMUGI.
小麦？
開かずの女だ。覚醒したのだ。小麦は飛躍的に強くなる。
Only at Gungi is the
It's just her
problem.
thing, yeah.
人。
Not battle strategy, just
もし
Gungi
も小麦
strategy.
を今回の方法で選別していたらどうなっていた。
死んでますね。あくまで選別は兵士たりうる肉体と精神の持ち主を選ぶためのやり方
She's
です。
physically really, really weak.
生き残るのは手高いものだけです。
王、どうか。
小麦と出会って強さにもいろいろあると学んだ。例えばここへ来る途中、要は
Please, don't.
子供を殺した。
王、決して言ってはいけません。
のがもしかしたら
似合わない。ふさわしくない。
ある
Regret?
分野で愛を目覚めさせていたか
But
も
you
しれない。
wouldn't know, would
あ
you?
の王が自らの行為など
大した意味もなく積んだ。
絶対にその先は言ってはいけない。
要はおう。
He's literally glowing. It's not just Nen. He's
いなく積んだ。だとしたらなんという強さ。地に現れ他のあまたある脆い強さを奪い壊す。それが世の力。この世で最も強い力。
All right.
私は護衛軍失格です。
I doubted the king.
誤解が先走り、危うく王を侮辱するところでした。 王が自分の行いを悔いているのではないかなどとバカなことを考えて
王にとって邪魔ならあの小娘やればいいじゃねえか。
私があなたと同じ思考になったなんて
そうだ
Imagine if they killed her and then he just killed all of them and then just made it so easy for everyone to come in and get him.
世の前では何の意味も小麦あの女とて同じことかが軍議所詮盤上の後世がほんの少しなでれば深い溶かすつまる世の気分次第
Life depends on my mood.
Yeah.
すぐにでもそうと世は一体何をこだわって千ずるところ選別の日が来るまでが暇つぶし
You're getting too invested.
もういいではないか楽しんだもう用なしやるか今すぐ
What? Why was that bird just attacking her?
ここもこっちもだけではないかくそなんと脆い生き物なのだ
Literally going in there to kill her.
And then he saves her life.
ご迷惑をおかけしてはいけないと
迷惑なことなど何もない世は一体貴様は大事な客だ何を言っているたった今こいつを殺しに来たんだなぜ泣くなぜやらね何なのだこの生き
This
物
creature.
よこいつどうしたいのだ
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Oh my goodness. The king is literally having an existential breakdown.
He's like, I killed a child, and you know that could have been her. It's the same thing.
Maybe that
What
child
is
could have
this?
surpassed me in another way.
And then he's just like, no, it doesn't matter. I can kill anyone.
Brute strength only matters.
It's the
Games, all these other things, only
They're
one type of
meaningless.
strength.
I'll just kill everyone, and then this game won't mean anything. And then he like walks in there. This eagle is just like attacking her inside for no reason.
I think
and
it's
then
just the eagle recognized she was super weak and blind and was hunting her.
the eagle is just.
Was preying on her literally. Like she's that, but that's the point is that she's that pathetic and weak.
That an eagle went after her.
Yeah.
Because it knew it could defeat her.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's so sad.
So I just love the instant switch. The instant switch, like, yeah, just like he goes, he's so ready to kill her. He's just like, all right, let's do this. Then just like how instantly he just like he jumps in the air, like when he hits it with his tail, he fucking snaps on this bird. And he's like floating, like he just leaps forward, smashes it with his tail.
I know.
And like when other times we've seen him like kill something with his tail, he's like always arms
He's
crossed
just, like,
and then the tail like
nonchalant.
moves.
It's just like,
In this, he's like fully
like-
engaged, you know?
yeah, it's a literal bird. It is not a threat to him in any way, but he showed more
emotion. Yeah.
and more like he actually like used his abilities rather than just like, you know.
Yeah, like we've seen it whenever he like had to when he broke through the wall to climb out of when he was born. He like broke the wall to the dirt place and then like his tail like reached in while his arms were crossed.
He
He's
just
like
didn't care.
and then launched him up while he was still and then landed with his arms crossed. He's so nonchalant and like careless with everything, but these just the movement alone shows so much emotion.
Yeah, and it's as if say he was like a person and he had a gun and like he was just so badass that like whenever he killed someone he just like didn't even look and just shot them.
Yeah.
Like without looking, but then he like saw something and like
Goes full John Wick mode.
like fully like did a roll and then like
Yeah.
you know like did something super crazy that it's just it's so awesome and so not what you expect. I can see why people really love this arc, because I feel like for like the first most of this arc, it was just kind of like I liked it, but it wasn't really my favorite, and I didn't really get the hype. I was kind of like, all of these ants are just stupid.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't really exploring anything. Like even recently, like the majority of the ants are just so one-dimensional, other than like a few that are like doing something. But even some of the ones that are doing something are like, it's just not that intriguing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, you know, they're
like Cheetu and Hogya.
Yeah, it's like you know,
Leol.
they're getting different emotions and having different ideas, but
It's like
kind of whatever.
Zazan was cool because we got to see the Phantom Troop, but like all these things are just kind of like
It's kind of just whatever. But then the king now, you know, a few of the ants that have like joined up with people, and like Colt was obviously really interesting. But then when he kind of went off, then it's kind of just like, okay, like what is gonna take this to the next level, and like this is it, the king, and like how slowly it kind of happened, of like he was just killed all these other people, it didn't matter, we like see how much he doesn't care, and then we see him like slowly, and like he doesn't even really understand what's happening because he's like literally a couple of weeks old, and like has no like he's never experienced emotions before, or like seen it, and that's the other thing, is he hasn't really seen it modeled in anything else, because anytime he's encountered people, they've just been killed, or he's been like, oh, why are they doing that, they're just stupid. And like obviously all of the ants, or like most of them, are just blindly subservient to him. So it's just kind of like, you know, whatever. So then being exposed to someone who is like so weak and pitiful and just pathetic, but is so good at something, and they're just playing a game and just playing the game. At first he was like angry that he was losing because all he cared about was winning, and then he has discovered why people play games in general. It's not to win, it's because it's fun and it's entertaining and it's something to do. And it's like when he's like marching down the hall, he's like, this game was just something to do to pass the time, I'll just kill her and be done with it because I didn't care about it anyway. It's like that's not really true, because okay, you want to take over the world, and then what? And then what? Like, you're never gonna get this again if you just take over the world and everyone is blindly loyal to you. Because anyone who would play with you, you would either just kill them, or they wouldn't be any good, or they would let you win on purpose. So it's and just like her not like being so dedicated, and also not really caring much, like, not that she doesn't care about him, but she's not intimidated by him.
Because she doesn't see a monster.
She doesn't see him. She is just like another person who is as invested in the game as she is, and she's never really had that before either, which is why she's getting better, because she's able to play at someone who is like rapidly getting better than her. It's like before when she was talking about like, oh, I made this new move and it was awesome, and then someone used it against me, and then I found the way to beat it. So it's like she's kind of having that, but like more frequently.
Rapidly,
It's like she is doing things, he is learning them, playing them back at her, and then she is like developing new counter moves, so they're really going back and forth. Even though she's still above him, it's not like he's catching up. It's like he's
multiplying her,
and then she like, it's like that.
He's multiplying her talent, and so that's why she awakened.
And it's cool as well, because I think I said this before, of like, if it would be cool if she had a nen that like helped her play this game. And it's cool that she is developing that, because she's so dedicated to it, and that's what we learned before, of like, it's not all about fighting, it's just about like, you're so passionate about something that you
put your life into it.
It just kind of goes beyond the act of doing something. And which is just awesome.
And it's just the back and forth of his, when she's just like the fact he never would have considered asking a human's name before. He didn't care, and like
and just the sudden, and this is the interesting thing as well, and it kind of brings it back to the ants wanting names in the first place. It was like a sign of their awakening humanity, because they wanted to be called something. They like started to see value in like
individuality,
in being a person, in like having a name. in like having something that distinguishes you from everyone else. And he was fine with just being the king. He's in charge, he's the king. That's all there is to it. And everyone else is just irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're all there to serve him, so it doesn't matter what they're called or that they're even individuals. They could all be the same person for all he cares about them. But then when he realizes that he does want to know her name, and then it makes him think, when she asks him, it's like, what is my name? It's like, if I'm so great and so far above everyone else, why am I not my own person, really? Yeah. It's like,
who am I?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm the king, and then he's like, but that's, like he said,
that's
it's
a
like,
title.
That's a title, that's not a name. How can you be, like, you know, how can you be the supreme being and
he's
not
realizing that he's, like, if he is the title, then, like, what, like, if he's a title, then what does his power mean? It's just like, it's just a job.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, your entire life is bound towards this purpose of proving your worth to other people based on your brute strength. When, like, what, you know, like you said, like, what about after? What does it mean to be, you know? That's why he doesn't understand when he's like enjoying the game or enjoying somebody's company. It's just so foreign because he only lives to exert his dominance over everything. He was built to be that's like why he is just the king. He's just the title. He's just the dominant force, and that's it. But, you know, if there is a nugget of something else, is that not a part of him? If he's just the king, then he can't be this, like, person as well, right? So, and that's what he's struggling with. It's a lot of big questions to ask and to compartmentalize and, you know, basically try and box this part of yourself up and ship it away by being like, I don't even care. I'm the king. I rule. That's what I am. I'm not even a person. I'm just the king, you know? But he can't do that.
It's like, I just think it's like you're the king, and then he's like, well, there's a bunch of other kings, and it's like in religions where there's a bunch of gods, all of the gods have their own name. They're not like, just like, you know, in Christianity, it's like, oh, it's God. There's only one of them, so he, like, that's like his thing, you know what I mean? But then if, you know, you go into, like, other things, it's like all the different gods have their own names, because God, being a god is like not like a title. It's like a thing that they can be.
Yeah.
But they're also an individual. Like they're
set of belief systems and things that, like,
so it's like what he's saying. It's like, okay, if they're, we'll just get rid of all the other kings. It's like, well, who says that we can get rid of all the other kings? And, like, who says that someone else couldn't just call themselves a king?
Yeah, and if anybody can call themselves
special,
a king.
If anyone can just be like, oh, I'm the king of this, like, one other person, you know?
As we're seeing, you know, as there is in the world, like, if you believe yourself to be the one true king, then, like, there's other people that can just impersonate that. But if you have a name, like, nobody, or if you, not, that's because the name represents your personality and you as a person, your personhood. So, like, people can just say that they're your name, but they can't be you. But they can be the king if they want.
Yeah.
All they have to do is say it. But, like, that, and that's what he touched on is, like, that's the value of a name. It's not that the name necessarily is what's important, is that it denotes something that is singular and unique, and has desires and a, you know, a personality. And yeah, I just can't get over this whole thing. How he, just the concern in his voice. You're covered in blood. Why didn't you call for help? I didn't want to bother you. You're not bothering anyone. It's like, oh my God, he really loves her.
It's just, yeah.
But then he's just like, this creature, this pathetic creature, what do I want to do with her?
Yeah.
And then the little shine in his eyes, like he's experiencing life for the first time, because we've always seen just this, like, pale expression.
And it's also like the fact that he cares about another person. It's like, he doesn't care about the guards. He would kill them. He doesn't, like,
he's tried.
Like, when he says that he will kill them, he means it. Like, they're meaningless. He's not viewing them as people. He's viewing them as tools.
Yeah.
This is like the first person that he's viewing, like, just as another person that he can have a conversation with. And it's interesting as well that Pouf is, you know, being really observant and, like, noticing all these things and getting freaked out by it. But then, you know, because he loves the king, then he's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I totally, I was completely crazy. I misjudged the king. I should have never doubted him, even though like, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
He's reading the situation completely correctly. But there's no real telling where it can go from this, and if the king does start to like like how he was saying of like, oh, all of these people that we're gonna kill just because they don't have physical strength, like could that be a mistake? You know, because they haven't done it yet, and it's like if he actually starts to extend the way that he thinks about her to other people, then like that is a huge problem for the ants, because you can't just take over the whole thing of like, you know, taking over the world and killing everyone else is you can't view them on the same level as you, or else like you can't do it. That's like it's a, you know,
it's this is a separate thing, but I wonder if I don't think we know a lot about Togashi as like his personal life growing up, or like the details of it, but the more and more I think about like the relationships in the show, the more I wonder if he maybe had like a complicated relationship with like his mom or a parent figure of some kind, because like there's a lot of repeating sort of very domineering family structure, a lot of expectations placed on you to like be a certain way or do what the other people want. Like with Pouf, he could be like a parent, kind of like a devouring mother like figure, like Killua's mom, who like just wants you to fulfill your potential as this part of this sort of family, and you were born for this purpose and you were raised for this purpose and you need to do this. And Pouf, and maybe there's a recognition maybe Togashi has, because this is a constant thing where like Killua's mom doesn't just want to control him just because she's evil or something. She has like a very twisted motherly instinct that is like warped, but she really does love him to the point where Killua scratched her eyes out and she still loves him and wants him to come back. She's fucked up and twisted, but the same thing with Pouf. It's like he doesn't just want the king to do what Pouf says, like in a little finger. Like Pouf doesn't want to be the king. He doesn't want to rule from the shadows. He, like a parent seeing the potential in their kid and seeing them like, you know, go down the wrong path. It's like Pouf is like, you're losing your potential. Like you just need to focus on your grades and like go to a better, and so you can get into a better school and you can take over the world. Like I see so much in you because I love you so much and I just want the best for you. And the best, and in Pouf's eyes, the best for him is to be like the king and to be this thing, not to pursue this, you know, awakening humanity and this philosophy. And so and there's a lot of that. And then if you on the flip side, if you look at like in this idea that maybe there's something with Togashi and his parents, or with some kind of like rejection of you know, conformity, or of family, this domineering family sort of pressure. Like if you think about Gon as like the main character, he's sort of this, he's like the person that rejects that. He's like, his family life is very free. He grows up in the forest. He can go out whenever he wants. And it's like imagine if you're a kid like inside drawing manga and like maybe studying all the time, or have all this pressure from your family, and then you write this story and you're like, or you grow up and then you write the story, and it's this kid can, you know, he's making friends in the woods, and he knows all these animals, and he goes out and he fishes and he catches the biggest thing. He wants to go out and adventure and meet all these new people. Has no parents. And his mom, Aunt Mito, is like very not like, you know, this you know, do what you need to do what you have to do to succeed. Like Mito is very, you know, accepting, do whatever you want. Actually wants the best for him, but like lets him go when he wants to go. And then his dad, the person that he's like trying to model after, is also this very free spirit. And I don't know if anybody knows about like Togashi's backstory or his life or anything, but like this is a kind of a situation like that too. And all these things kind of mirror that sort of, either the rejection of that idea, this feeling of true freedom. That's why like Gon as the kid, like if you think of Gon as like the author's sort of like, I wish I had this kind of freedom as a kid type thing. You know, looking up to the dad that abandons you because he's free and he can go do whatever he wants. He goes out and he becomes an archaeologist and restores this tomb, and then hires all these people and makes a game and is creative and does all these things and has all these enterprises, and we learn more about it as we go along. And it's all about the journey. It's all about learning and meeting new people. And then along the way we see the people who are like kind of held down by their pressures. It's always like this sort of, this looming sort of figure that's kind of like trying to put pressure and control the things beneath them, you know?
This
and all the people that are looked upon favorably, like even the Phantom Troop, like they're the evil guys, but then we learn more about them and they just have a very free, loving relationship, and they just aren't held down by like the ties of the mafia and like all these things that like have all these rules and all this shit. So maybe it's just a rejection of conformity in societal structures, but it does all these like repeating kind of patterns of the domineering, high expectations parent-child relationship and the rejection of that. It does make me wonder about Tagashi's early life or his relationship with his parents, just from a critical perspective. It's really interesting to think about because it's reflected here, and it's good. It's good stuff. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it.
Do you like Pouf when he busts out with his violin?
I like it, but it's kind of over. It's like
he's exactly what you hate and love in an anime character.
I was just gonna say it's like I like it, like it's funny, but I also hate it at the same time because it's just so like cringy. You know what I mean? Like
I bet if he looked like Madara, you'd love it.
Madara didn't do anything like
he
this.
He did stuff like that.
He was
Hashirama!
Yeah, but he wasn't like flying around crying playing the violin or like whipping his hair around and being all dramatic.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy, he's like the glam guy from Blue Lock.
Yes, yeah.
Like just like super overdramatic, and it's funny, but like I don't like them as a character, but I like these moments. You know? And not that I don't like him as like I like the character and what you were just talking about of like the dynamic that he brings in, but like I wouldn't want to hang out with him. Not only because he'd just kill me, but also because he'd be annoying and just emotionally draining to be around someone like that.
Oh my god. Well, leave a like and subscribe. This was a banger episode. We're moving right along. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.